Can you tell us a little bit about Summit's journey as a private player in supporting Bangladesh's energy resilience and also in supporting regional energy investments and trade?
Summit Power's journey started 25 years ago, actually, as when Summit Group sponsored the first private power project in Bangladesh. We have a little bit over 2 gigawatts of power that we operate. Majority of that power is gas-fired, and we have some liquid fuel power. Currently, we are developing a 600 megawatt power project, perhaps one of the largest being developed in Bangladesh. Our vision as a company has been over time to help support the increased electrification of Bangladesh. We view it as a basic human right, access to electricity, to improve quality of life, to improve education, health, and empowerment. We've also established our headquarters in Singapore to help stimulate investment. And we have started to expand into additional sectors. We invested in one of the 2 LNG import terminals, and we're in the process of investing in a power plant in northeast India, in the state of Tripura, which supplies power both to the Indian northeast states, but also into Bangladesh. We're relatively early in our journey of cross-border electricity, but this would be the first investment. Bangladesh currently imports around 1,100 megawatts of electricity through 2 cross-border links from India. The other area that we've started to pursue is renewables, both within Bangladesh, but also within India. The Bangladesh at the recent COP26 had updated their nationally determined contributions for in line with the Paris Agreement, and has a goal of reducing emissions between 7 and 15% by 2030, and adding between 1 and 4 gigawatts of renewable power by 2030. And in the longer term, has very aggressive targets to increase renewable contribution to the Bangladesh power mix.
So Nick, you say that Summit is still relatively new to cross-border investments and trade. Tell us a little bit about some of the challenges that you've encountered, but also where you see the role for these public-private partnerships going forward.
Fundamentally, I believe that the challenges relate to communication and having a legal framework for governing these projects. I think we can break it down into a few subcategories. One is perhaps around process. The regulator, there tends to be an established precedent. When we start to discuss cross-border projects, they're a bit more novel, and there may not be an established precedent for exactly how these projects will work, even though within India, there's clearly regulations for exporting of electricity. The projects themselves have not been that many. So that can create a challenge around, the decision-making for a specific project. Another area is around communication between the regulatory bodies. For example, there may be a surplus of electricity in India, they're ready to export. So in terms of decisions about new investment, there needs to be more cross-border transmission links that are built. And for each cross-border link, there's decisions to be made about configurations, what type of lines to be put in place, how many, the size, and that has to be agreed between the regulatory bodies as well. Finally, also there's a point of just operational complexity. As soon as we put in a transmission line between 2 grids, which are not necessarily synchronized, for the public sector, they have other things to think about, not only to add capacity, but to think about load planning, distribution of electricity in different regions within country. I think the first thing the private sector can do is recognize that there's many of these decisions to be made. And then what we can do is help to demonstrate the technical feasibility of these projects.